today I want to dive back into time.
Oh my God. Okay.
I wanna talk about Coke Bottle in 2014. Ti, Timbaland.
Yep.
That track was like, I feel like that was the start of your career.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Pretty much.
how did that come about for you, and what was that like being a new artist and working with such insane producers and artists?
Right. So I think because I've had a long career before that, but it's like mainly in Asia, right? And so
Let me rephrase that. American career, yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, totally fine. But yeah, just like being able to be in the same room with him, and not only him but also his team, and the level of just him being meticulous in everything he did, and also his team. It was just wow. It was like unbelievable experience, right? So, and it's also kind of like a validation to what I've been doing, and kind of like, you're, like you're in the right track. So it was really encouraging.
That's dope, and I love like when I go back to that, and then I look at the evolution of all your tracks moving forward. Like I love just how you're kind of testing the waters with different sounds, different styles, different vocals, which leads me to my next point, which is like the interview we did a couple weeks ago. A lot of the fans were commenting on there that the same thing that I said, like, we love the vulnerable side of you. We want to hear more of your voice.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
can we maybe just work on that?
Yes.
Because I know like they love the acoustic version more, but it's like we just want your voice more.
Right. No, I totally get it, and I think it's because I have a lot of layers. So the vulnerable side is definitely one of, I want to say probably my favorite sides, but I was kind of afraid to show. I mean, not afraid like that, but it was just something that I normally didn't really, touch on, right? Because everything else was just really, swaggy, bouncy, and don't get me wrong, like that is also a part, like a huge part of me. But it was just kind of like whatever I'm in the mood for. Really, it's not like I'm just. I guess like I'm not just like testing the water because I want to see what's the trend, but it's more so, hey, you know what? Like this is what I'm feeling right now, right? And then I think as an artist and as a human being, and I always say this about my art, it's kind of like a visual diary. Each year is different, because we've experienced a lot of different things, and we've grown older, we've grown more mature, and the stuff that we talk about is different, right? Like the struggle that we go through, and I think that's the best thing about being an artist is that there's really no right or wrong. You just have to be true to yourself and just be authentic and speak your truth.
Right.
And that's kind of like what I've been doing or trying to do more.
Now, I guess to close us out, in that same topic, what has been your biggest challenge going from being an an artist in Asia, let me correct that, to being an artist here in the States or in the U.S.?
Wow, that's actually a really deep question. I love that. Let me think. The difference, I think, is just because the generation has changed. I started my career since before there was social media whatsoever. So the way that we approached songs and the way that we approach our, marketing or our promotion are totally different. It's like the complete opposite, right? Before we were, we were supposed to kind of keep everything private and keep it mysterious, right? Whereas I feel like nowadays they expect you to be just you, and they want to know more of like your personal stuff. Whereas I feel like years ago people didn't really care. They just wanted to know. It's almost like you have to be on a pedestal where people can't reach, then they're gonna consider you as an artist. Whereas I feel like now it's a totally different thing. And I think the hardest, I mean, I don't want to say the hardest, it's just if I have to say the hardest, it's probably that adjusting with, like what's right now, what the audience wants, and still balancing out with who I am. You know, if I'm an introvert, like I'm just naturally a private person, so I also don't want to like sell my soul, like like I have to do this
Please
for my
don't.
career. You know what I mean? So just to try to find the balance of it all. Yeah, so that's probably the hardest.
Well, I love that, over the years, over the different platforms that you've been on, over the like accolades that you've received, you're still level-headed. You're still, your feet are on the ground, and like I appreciate that a lot.
No, everybody was like saying the same thing, and I got this a lot from just people who interviewed me before, or they just like sat down with me. I think like they had I don't know, different expectations, and they're like, wow, Ag, like you're a real person. I'm like, well, am I not supposed to be a real person? Like,
You'd be surprised.
yeah, you know what?
surprised.
Now that I'm here, like I've been here for 8 years, I can understand the weight of that. Your statement just.
I mean, I've been a first interview for so many artists that are like the biggest artists today, and it's like backs are turned and everything. So it's like, it happens.
Yeah, no, it happens. Like I feel like people have their own, boundaries and probably like, so some people, especially before we go on stage, sometimes we don't want to get interviewed or whatever, but I mean, it's them, whatever.